You know how it is. One second your cat is weaving around your legs demanding attention, and the next, poof, they've just vanished into thin air. It's that little moment of panic every cat owner knows, right? They're absolute masters of stealth. So today, we're going to solve that mystery. Why on earth do our cats hide?
So let's get right to it with a question that I'm betting almost every single one of you can answer. Is your cat's favorite spot under the bed? Or maybe it's in the back of the closet, or inside that one specific Amazon box? Well, this isn't just some weird little habit. It's actually a huge piece of the puzzle to understanding your cat.
And this is where it gets really important. That little hideout can mean two totally different things. On one hand, it could just be their quiet spot, their personal sanctuary for a good, uninterrupted nap. But it could also be a major red flag, a silent signal that something is really, truly wrong. And our job, as their people, is to figure out how to tell the difference.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the most common and totally normal reason your cat disappears. It's what we can call the bunker instinct. This isn't just some random quirk. It's a deep-seated, hardwired instinct, all about feeling safe.
You see, out in the wild, cats are this fascinating contradiction. They're amazing predators, right? But they're also prey for bigger animals. Because they have to be both the hunter and the hunted, they've developed what's called a denning instinct. They are naturally drawn to small, dark, enclosed spaces. And why? Well, from that little bunker, they can keep an eye on everything without being seen. It's the ultimate safe space.
And get this isn't just a theory. It's actually backed up by science. Back in 2017, a study from Harper Adams University decided to look into this exact thing. They studied cats in what you could argue is a super high-stress environment, a veterinary clinic. They wanted to see if something as simple as a hiding spot could really make a difference. And the results were, well, they were incredible. Just look at this. The cats that were given a simple cardboard box to hide in, their stress levels dropped. A lot. And fast. We're talking calmer breathing, slower heart rates, a measurable drop in stress in just 20 minutes. So this proves it's not just something they like to do, having a safe place to retreat is a biological need.
So, we've established that hiding is a totally normal instinct. But what if a cat that's usually out and about suddenly starts hiding all the time? Well, that's often a clue that something in their world has changed. They're not just chilling, they're reacting to some kind of stress or fear in their environment.
So what kind of things are we talking about? Honestly, it's usually stuff that we think is just normal life. That vacuum cleaner we pull out, to a cat, it can be a monster. A thunderstorm, new people coming over, even just moving the couch can totally throw them off. Cats build their entire sense of security on routine, so any little disruption can send them scrambling for their safe spot. Okay, this leads us to probably the most important question for any cat owner. How do you tell the difference? How do you know if your cat is just cozied up in their favorite spot or if they're hiding because they're genuinely distressed? This is where you have to become a bit of a detective.
Let's break it down side by side. Comfort hiding is just casual. The cat still comes out to eat, they'll come say hi, and even when they're hiding, their body looks relaxed. It's just their nap spot. Now, distress hiding, that's different. They're skipping meals, they're not using their litter box. If you get close, their whole body is tense, their eyes are wide like saucers, and they might even hiss. Any sudden switch from being social to being a total recluse, that's a huge sign of distress.
And this brings us to the most serious reason of all. If you've looked around and you just can't find any obvious stressor, a sudden change in hiding habits is one of the biggest signs that your cat is sick or in pain. Think about it. In the wild, an animal that shows weakness becomes a target. So cats are experts at hiding their pain. When it finally gets bad enough that they have to hide, you really need to pay attention.
Okay, so you've figured out your cat is hiding out of fear or stress. Now what? What can you do to help? The key here is to be a source of comfort, not a threat. Your whole goal is to make them feel safe again.
I love this quote because it sums up the entire strategy perfectly. The golden rule is patience. You must make the outside world more appealing than the hiding spot. It's all about making them want to come out, not forcing them.
So what does that look like in the real world? First, give them better options. If they're hiding under the bed, maybe put a cozy cat cave or even just a cardboard box in a quiet corner. Respect their need for a den. Second, use good old-fashioned bribery. Gently toss some of their favorite treats near their spot or see if you can tempt them with a wand toy. And third, try to make the whole house feel calmer. Things like calming pheromone diffusers can work wonders, and just keeping the noise down helps a lot.
All right, now for what not to do. And please, this is non-negotiable. Never, ever, ever physically drag a cat out of its safe spot. All you're doing is proving to them that, yep, the world outside their bunker is dangerous. Yelling at them or punishing them will only crank up their anxiety, and it can seriously break the trust you have with them.
So we've talked about instinct, we've talked about stress, we've talked about how you can help, but let's finish up with the most critical piece of information: knowing when this crosses the line from a behavioral thing to a potential medical emergency.
And there's one number I really want you to remember: 24. If your cat has been hiding so intensely that they have not eaten, they have not had any water, or they have not used the litter box for a full 24 hours, it's time to call the vet. No question.
And be on the lookout for these other major red flags too. If the hiding is happening along with any of these things you see here, like they're super weak, they're panting with their mouth open, or maybe they started hiding right after a fall or a fight, that is your signal to get professional medical help right away.
So the next time your cat pulls a disappearing act, try not to see it as just a weird quirk. See it for what it is. It's a message. Hiding is communication. And by understanding if they're just looking for comfort, if they're reacting to stress, or if they're signaling pain, you can respond with the patience and care they actually need. The only real question is, what are they trying to tell you?